Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another beautifully polygonal day here on my procedurally generated Update Aquatic server with me, your host, Update Aquatic Man. Last time we worked on this Update Aquatic algae farm, its sorting and collection and distribution thereof of the algae that you see growing beneath us. But we ran into a bit of a problem. Yes, indeed you do. As you can see, some of the algae continue to race towards this professional sorter who is working here diligently to ensure that only the smallest versions of algae pass by here. So for some reason, as they would be attracted to I, they appear to be attracted to the sorter above. So we need to find a way to distance the algae from the sorter. And last time we kind of tried experimenting by moving the sorter over a little bit to the left behind another little wall, and then seeing if that water would just push them underneath the wall and then they wouldn't see him. But they continued to jump up and down in the same stream trying to find him. So I'm thinking that maybe what we're going to try on this side is to actually... Oh, let me make sure I'm dressed. I routinely jump off without being dressed. Here we go. Let's go over here. What I want to do over here is probably make a larger drop for this. Bring it down to about there, maybe. And then, just because this, as you can see, is quite a large drop. So I want to make this one maybe to about there. Oh, man, I don't know. Maybe bring it down 4 or 5. And then I'm going to try to bring it out this way again. So this whole arm might be lower. So we might have to introduce some intentional asymmetry to the build, and I think that actually might look pretty cool as one of our breakdancing golems continues to return to the sauna for the end of the day. Let me go ahead and reset the sun real fast. All right, good morning. All right, here we go. So as I was saying, that's something that's on the agenda for today, to bring this down and bring it over here, introduce some intentional asymmetry, and maybe make this just a straight shoot water fountain out so that things don't get caught in the corner as that appears to be. Yeah, I tried to solve that last time. It kind of solves if I make them one shorter. Huh. If I make them each one shorter. And then just maybe, yeah. All right, so that's on the agenda today. In addition, of course, we're going to continue filling in the sanitized bucket and flooring, and because that requires so much iron, I might try to get the villager breeder going and get that guy going as well. And heck, who knows? Maybe I start my Northeast Module 2 and 3 as well. We'll see. Or, and this is probably a bigger thing, maybe get some of that glass. How much glass do I have? Oh, I need to start thinking about smelting glass because I'm going to need all of these to be greenhouses, except they're going to be blue. All right, so those are all going to need a lot of glass, and that means a lot of smelting. And it looks like the kelp farm, Stalker's kelp farm, is ready to harvest again. Let me go double check. Straight in, wind calm, clear to land. Where, gear! Oh boy, right into the cable. All right. Yeah, it looks like the thing's still going. Or rather, it's done. Oh yeah, somebody must have sorted it. Did I? I was sorting some of it. Okay. Well, that looks like more. Somebody must have finished sorting it. Thank you very much. I am going to go get that all started into here. And actually, maybe you want to see that. Have I ever showed you guys how efficient this thing is? Well, I say efficient. All right, so how are we going to do this? Up here. And I don't toss them down into that sorting down there because there's too many of them. They'll probably get lost. So what I can do is, do I have any empty shulker boxes? No, but can I build a couple? 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll make 2. Yeah, let's make 2 more shulker boxes, and I believe that requires a chest and a chest to do that, and both of those require a crafting bench. There's one. Jumping is for noobs. Just kidding. Bang, and then bang. All right. Boop. Up here we'll go, and we'll put down some shulker boxes so we'll be able to start gathering the kelp right away. Because you only have 5 minutes and then they disappear, right? And it can take a while as it all drifts off up to the top. But here we go. We'll get this guy here ready to go 1, and this guy ready to go 2. I believe the machine is down there. It is. Okay, so the button is actually inside the aquarium. So down here we'll go. As you can see, there's been many creeper explosions. There's another one on the other side. Not all the kelp grows all the way up to the top, but those that do... Oh, it looks like this is just a lighting thing. Oh, there it goes. Check out that lag. Let me see if I can turn that down there for you. Nope. It's just going to be just like that. Until that machine goes all the way across. And then all of those things are going to start floating up to the top, and then it should be done. I don't think it returns. But, oh, you can see the sorter from here. This looks pretty good. Stalker, I don't know what you're planning here still. I know that you started tearing down your... Oh, then there you go. Back to normal. I know you started tearing down the smelter over here. But by all means, leave this here as long as you want. I'll continue to use it while it harvests. I mean, it's just a button, right? Okay, so then I hop into this bad boy. And I like to go into F5. And I just kind of zoom back and forth and gather them up one row at a time. Right on. All right, so I'm going to gather up all... Oh, wow. And just like that, as you can see, one is already done. So I'm going to continue gathering all this up, and then we'll head over to the smelter, stick it in the smelter, and then get working on one of the projects today. Maybe it's getting more... Double-checking my sand supply because... Wow, done already. Because I am going to need some sand for, like I said, the greenhouses. Oh, and I need glass for... I guess I need glass for the sorter, the algae sorter as well. So let me get to work on that, and I'll be right back. All right, my friends, I have made the adjustments I intended to make over there, and it looks like they're still kind of struggling to go get that guy. I went into a testing world and put a large slime block underneath a golem, and about 8 blocks distance, it seemed to be enough that they weren't going after him. But apparently that's not the case. I don't want to drop it down anymore. I think I'm just going to let it run as it is. And as you can see, while I'm here, larger blocks are coming up for algae slime. The larger algae are coming up and being converted. Oh, wow. You can see it live and in the process. Being converted into medium-sized ones. Get out of here. Oh, no. I don't like the fact that he's kind of touching my golem. But is he really? Are they trying to swing at each other without making space? All right. So it's my hope, again, that as more and more of these guys start to funnel down into the system, they'll be pushed down through here. And I do have the the intentional asymmetry. Oh, excuse me there, ladies and gentlemen. I had a quick sneeze that overcame me. Hope you don't mind a quick edit. Anyways, I have the asymmetry going on, and I think it's all right. This one, I have it so that all 3 of the lanes come pushing out. That one, not so much, but I think I discovered something. Let me see if I can get up there real fast. I say real fast, but oh boy. All right, so from here, you can see that this one doesn't go as far out into the center of the column or into the water collection system down below. But because this one does, as you can see, some of the streams kind of push it over here, which should be fine because as it pushes it around, it's going to continually push it this direction until it gets right here, and then it's going to kind of bounce around and eventually fall into there. But I kind of like the fact that this one actually helps to push the... Oh, there goes another... algae ball actually helps the algae be pushed down into the collection process, right? So maybe this one gets changed eventually too, or maybe not, because after all, it's neither one of them seems to be working all that efficiently. So maybe this is just the way it ends, right? This is the way this is going to be. And as you can see, I went ahead and framed in one of the greenhouses. I started with one of the smaller ones to give an idea of how much glass it was going to take, and the answer was it probably took about 2/3 more than what you see here, so that was quite a lot of glass, but a nice little quick framing. And now the next step over here, as I continue to monitor the situation over there, the next step over here is to actually come in here and kind of think about ripping up the floor, right? So what's going to happen in here is this is going to be a greenhouse. Will I close the whole thing in? Yeah, I'll end up closing the whole thing in, so all of this layer will be grass layer. All right. Below the grass layer, because it will be tilled crop soil, is that, I don't know, tilled soil, tilled grass, it will be short enough that I could just put hoppers at this line and run it into some type of collection system. But I don't think that's a wise decision. I think instead what I'm going to do is have the blocks here and then have multiple rail lines at this level, and then down at one more level down will be hoppers into a collection system. So from here I need to dig out like 3 layers down just to kind of get prepped to put together the collection system for what's going to be a farm. And I think I'm going to funnel it all over into this corner and use this space over here as kind of a cultivation space for this farm whatever I intend to put here, be it potatoes or carrots, and part of that farm over there. I'm going to split that farm in half, so half the production comes to this side and half goes to the other side, so that this side would have, for example, carrots and wheat, and that side would have potatoes and wheat. And I think that's a pretty good little idea. And while that's going on, I'm continuing to wait for iron to be produced. Let's see here. Second. Yep. All right. So it doesn't take too long to get our iron supplies back overnight anymore, but I still kind of want more iron production. Maybe I put a pin in this for the next episode, or maybe not. We'll see what happens over there as well. But let me continue working on. I never wrapped that up, but it'll happen along the way. Let me continue working on these 3 things. I think that will be monitored. This I will dig out, and maybe I'll continue to put some more iron down here to kind of get this producing even more. You know what? Let's go peek and see if it's producing as much as I'd like to hope it is. All right. So right here. All right. Yeah, those numbers aren't that great, but considering I've only been sitting here working on that for as long as I have, that's not too bad considering. So it's coming along. It's coming along. The algae production facility is coming along. Wow, look at all of them. Man, oh man, if only I can get them to funnel faster. All right, my friends, welcome back as I gaze upon the new bottom layer of the greenhouse. This is where all of the redstone-y stuff is going to be, and I wanted to light it up anyways. I know it's not going to be visible to anybody on the outside, but I'm going to know it's there. So what I thought about doing at first was taking a bunch of hoppers and, you know, just running one line over to there and running every other line into those, and then on top of that putting rails, and then having a minecart that would go flying around. But then it occurred to me every now and again I was going to need to power those things, and if I was going to power those things, how was I going to not make it so that the hopper was also locked? So I've been thinking about that with a couple of things in mind, and I don't know if this works or not, but if this were punched out, whoops, not that one back there, this one here, would that prevent this from flowing into this? That's the good stopping spot right now. That's all they've got in there. So let's go ahead and put this guy in here and see what happens. That's flowing through it, so that should be all right. So what I could do is do this and then have a hopper minecart on top of it that just kind of goes left and right and left and right and along the walls, and you know, it'll get powered and then keep being sent back and forth by the power along the way. Or maybe I make it so that all the hoppers go in a certain direction, and in the center is where all my power is at. Or maybe some combination of both. Maybe I can leave the middle sections kind of clean of railing and power them all in here. Railing, I say. There will be railing on top of every block at this layer. I'm just saying that maybe I can have it. You know what? Let me double check to make sure that I can put what I want to put on top of those. Here we go. Let's get this. And we'll use that for now. And do I need anything else from here? I don't think so. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So, if I were to bang, bang, bang. So it would be powered. And I forgot how long these actually power. I don't have a bendy bit. But that would be enough to power them. And would that then prevent things from filtering through? Let's see. Because now if this rail is getting power, let's double check. Nope, they're running right through, so excellent. So there is something in the works here. I will figure out something so that this is a hopper layer that leads into what will eventually be, the sorting, some sort of, I guess I don't need a sorting system, because if it's all just filtering right here, it's all going to be right here. So this is going to be some type of mechanism to start sending it up into the tower that's going to have storage. And I'm thinking about some type of conveyor belt system. So is it possible for me to use very short soulstone water jumps to funnel food in a certain direction? I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to try that out. But let me go ahead and get this finished out and continue to monitor the situation over at the algae production facility. I did make some more adjustments, I think, since the last time you and I spoke. Yeah, I now have it so that they drop down 2 there and 2 there, and those are just flat 8 streams. Right? As you can see, people aren't exactly seeing him yet, but when they do, they'll jump over to him. Also, these guys are still kind of struggling against the flow of the water, so it's not working the way I thought it would. Maybe I'll go back to the 4 long and then 2 drop. This might be the experimental side, as the other side continues to produce generically as it does. But as you can see, it just stops right there. So if I did it every so often, it would be dropped down real low. It might come off like maybe a block or 2 above that. And let's see again how our production's coming along. Over on this side, we have got that many, and over on this side, we have got that many. So either one, and this one has been under construction multiple times, so either one not necessarily taking the lead. We might just leave it as is. I don't know. I kind of want it to be more efficient, though. We'll see. All right, let me get back over to the farm and start working on the underlying redstone for collection and gathering. Welcome, my friends, to the Nether. Quick trip over here to the zombie pigman farm in order to repair my pick and elytra, and I thought I'd show you along the way some of the things I've been working at. I figured every trip I'd come through here, I'd start adding to the pillar that's around the bottom of this, and eventually it should encompass and go all the way up. I think that's going to look pretty cool. I think it looked pretty cool the way it is, you know, but I think having this case around it is going to give it a nice, sleek look. While I'm here also, let me go ahead and see if there's some gold. There is some gold. I'm going to need some powered rails, so 6 gold bars per powered rail. If I take that 10 plus 12, so bang. Okay, I think that math works out somewhere in there, right? So 10, 10, 10 plus 2 more, right? I think that's how it's going to work out. We'll see. Anyways, let me make sure I do not have my elytra on because I'm taking this giant elevator up. I know it's not an elevator, it's a ladder, but can't put water in here, so I guess the next best thing would be a minecart elevator. I guess I could build that at some point, but that's not what we're working on today. Today I'm going to get this repaired and head back out to the cultural square. I'll be right back. Here we are, my friends, looking down upon the algae production platforms below as we have gone around and put up another 6.5 rows of the entire tank, of the interior, I should say, of the tank. Boy, that's going to take a lot. But as you can see, I think we're almost halfway there. Yeah, that looks like to be about halfway. Woo! We're getting there. Also in here, I've done some tinkering. I don't know if I like this or not, but this was how I put together a up water elevator. I think I'm just going to take it back to this one, but you know, it's here just in case, you know, I want to use it. And for now I do. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, by the way, of the two methods so far, this guy over here on the left is still producing more than this one over here on the right. So even though the one on the right was an attempt to make it more efficient using water streaming, the one on the left was an attempt to make it more efficient using positioning of the golem, and the one on the left doesn't seem to be mattering at all, but the one on the right appears to be slower. So I would say the one on the left doesn't appear to matter at all relative to what our initial baseline seemed to have been. So we'll see. I don't know. Again, I might just leave them like they are for the intentional asymmetry and see how it goes. And then you have one that kind of, and maybe kind of put a little extra nub on the end of that hose right there. Who knows? Over here, as you can see, I've also been quite busy getting this all prepared and now lit up. Most of it is powered. And when the rail is powered on top of a hopper, like if I'm powering from here, as I am, somewhere in the middle, it'll power the red lines, the powered rail lines, all the way out to wherever they stop, 8 away. I think it runs like redstone, half as much. But it doesn't actually lock up the hoppers. However, if I power a block next to a hopper, that powered block will lock that hopper. So this one I happen to know is a powered block, and I know that down here, about there and there, are powered blocks, because down here, let me show you what I did. Boop. I have set up this little clock, my clock restart activation button in case it stops for some reason, or if I have to stop it for maintenance, say for example. Boop. All right. So there we go. Get that going again. So by default, I built all this down here. As you may remember, I had a whole floor at this level. But then I had to tear it down even more so I can work with things. We'll see about whether or not I'm going to put another floor in here. Probably not, since it's pretty well lit. Pretty well lit. Anyways, as you can see, I had this first. Well, first I had hoppers going back and forth, just kind of sending a pulse out and making this was all off. Made sure all the lines were how they needed to be and then inverted them. But just when I send this, most of the time, this torch is powering that, turning that off, turning this off, right? As you can see. So those are most of the time off. So most of the time, that hopper is going to be able to send more items through. Okay? And I think I divided them from here and from here. I actually think this one ends up being more. Yes, quite more. So I probably should have divided from this corner. Sorry about that, hopper chains. Anyways, it's still designed to come out over here into this section where we will be producing an inclinator. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a, what's the crop device that actually, it's like a conveyor belt that goes up an inclination. I don't know. An incline. An inclination would be an incline. Is that not correct? I believe it is. All right. I'll figure out that word. Anyways, that's the word of the day, I guess. That's what we need to do, ladies and gentlemen. That's your word of the day. The inclination, as in relating to or pertaining to inclining, not as in pertaining to my particular mood or demeanor. I need to put one more, what's the word I'm looking for here? Lever over here for this one, and then everything will be good to go. Do I have one here on me? I don't. But the next step here is to put grass or dirt at this level and fill it all up, and then get this top layer prepared to receive villagers who are going to be farmers who are going to produce the crop. Sweet. All right, let me go see about getting all of this put in and double check where I am on editing to see if I even have time to get a villager over here. I hope I do. I hope I do. We'll see. All right, my friends, welcome back. As you may or may not see, I had to make some adjustments to the rails and to the hopper lines. I ended up removing the final line of hoppers from over there. That way I could simply power the block at the end, and that would run power through the redstone powered rails all the way to here. I turned those back into regular rails because that's enough juice to get around those corners, I'm sure. And of course down below, because I did that, I didn't need as much redstone shenanigans. So I pretty much just have some switches over here. All right, so now I also have my minecart going around and around. Is it close to me? Am I gonna have time to get out of here? Yeah, I made it. All right, and do I want this to be, okay, so this layer is all gonna be dirt layer. Let me go ahead and, do I have any? Yeah, I do. Let me go ahead and do that just for making it pretty sake, and you out of there as well, because that needs to look like that. Okay, so next up is laying down a bunch of dirt at this layer, right? As the hopper cart is going back and forth and all over the place. Up here will be tilled soil, right? So I need to till all of this soil, but first I'm going to need to get some water in place in order to do it. Now, this is one of the cool things about Update Aquatic. You can have waterlogged blocks, and since this is a staircase, I could use a bottom half slab, but I want to make sure my villager guy doesn't walk down in it. You can put a waterlogged, well, let me show you. Bam, it's waterlogged now. So all of these can be tilled and turned into soil. And, well, I guess all dirt is soil, but it can be tilled and ready for crop planting. And I'm going to do that to all 5 of these, and I'm going to plant some crops, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. All right, my friends, here we are, all caught up to the very end. Boop. That was my little climb up on spot. A couple of these there. Do I have any? I do. Let's put a couple of these in there, and bang, it is underway. So there you have it. All of the potatoes are in there and growing. Later on, we'll come back and push a villager in here somehow. Probably drop them right on top of one of those, or, you know, maybe just move them right through here and then kind of push them in through here. This one being so close to that portal, I don't see any reason to create a new one. But there it is. I need to let those grow for a while, and then in the meantime, while that's growing, I think I'm going to work on the collection system here and what we're going to do in order to create some type of inclinator, not necessarily an escalator, but some kind of inclinator that might kind of come over here and drop stuff in. You know, maybe have this one go way up high and then drop on this side and along a wall. Oh, no, way up high and drop here and come down this side, and this one would come way up high from way over there and drop on this side, and then they would both kind of drop and filter. I don't know, we'll see. Something to work on. and I think it's something to work on the next episode. Ladies and gentlemen, I certainly hope you've enjoyed your time with me today, and if you have, please do give me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to continue watching this build log as it progressed, please do consider subscribing for more coming real soon. If you cannot wait that long, YouTube has hand-selected a video for you on the left, and I have put together this entire build log on the bottom left. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again real soon. Bye-bye!